Home remedies for bedwetting. Before watching this video, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and click on the bell icon to be notified when we post a new video. Thank you. Bedwetting, also called nocturnal enuresis, is the condition in which a child urinates unintentionally in his bed. It is normal for children to have occasional accidents during their first few years of life. This is more common among kids under 5 years old. It is not a serious problem but can be quite stressful for the parents and the child. So if you are dealing with your kids' bedwetting issues at home, here are some home remedies to stop bedwetting that will help ease things a little bit. There are different types of bedwetting based on its frequency and intensity. Nocturnal enuresis or primary bedwetting involves frequent occurrence of involuntary urination at night. Secondary reluctant bedwetters have had nocturnal enuresis before but stopped for some time. Tertiary refers to those who have never experienced it before. And finally, fourth degree relates to those who experience it only once every few weeks or month. Bedwetting remedies. Bedwetting alarms. The first thing that you can do to curb bedwetting is to make your child understand that it is not his fault and that he cannot help it. Try to make him feel silly about it, but don't make him feel guilty or angry. If you have a child who is beyond 5, the most common type of treatment is to use alarms. An alarm is a device that makes a sound when your child urinates in his/her sleep. The sound wakes the child up, and the child then stops urinating, cleans himself/herself, and goes back to sleep. Bedwetting alarms are available in the market. You can get it prescribed by a pediatrician. Changing your child's bedwetting routine. Create a bedwetting routine for your child to follow. If your child is under 3 years old, make it a rule for them to wear diapers at night. If your child is above 3 years old, make it a rule for them to wear diapers at night. If your child is above 3 years old, encourage him/her to wear a bedwetting alarm or a bedwetting underwear. Make sure your child has their last meal at least 3 hours before going to bed. Constipation remedy. If you are dealing with a child who is suffering from bedwetting, you need to check if he is suffering from constipation too. A child with constipation is more prone to get bedwetting. The reason for this is that the stool inside the intestine presses against the bladder, which in turn increases the pressure in the bladder. The increased pressure in the bladder leads to frequent urination and, eventually, to bedwetting. Children who are suffering from constipation need more fiber in their diet. Start giving your child a high-fiber diet, including fruits, vegetables, and whole grains. You can also give your child fiber supplements like psyllium husk, guar gum, or methylcellulose. Dietary changes. If your child is already suffering from constipation and has started wetting his/her bed, try to increase the intake of fluids. This will help ease out the constipation and at the same time reduce the strain on the bladder. Apart from that, if you notice that your child is eating a lot of junk food and is not getting enough fruits, vegetables, and whole grains in his/her diet, try changing the diet. This will help improve the functioning of the bowel. Lastly, drinking a lot of water and consuming more fluids will keep the bladder well hydrated and reduce the risk of bedwetting. Dry bath remedy. Another common home remedy for bedwetting is giving your child a dry bath every night before putting them to bed. This will reduce the amount of fluid in the bladder, which in turn will help reduce the frequency of urination. Also, make sure your child is wearing only cotton underwear. Synthetic fabrics are more likely to retain moisture. If you have put all these into practice, but nothing has changed, it is probably the time you should consult a doctor. Exercise as a bedwelling remedy. Exercising regularly can reduce the risk of bedwetting. This is because exercising encourages the bladder to empty itself fully each time. The more often the bladder is emptied, the less likely it is to retain fluid. This will help reduce the risk of bedwetting. Begin exercising with light aerobic activities like walking, jogging, cycling, etc. Perform these activities for at least 30 minutes every day. When you feel your child is ready, increase the intensity of the exercise. Once your child has reduced bedwetting, encourage him/her to maintain the level of activity. This will help reduce the risk of bedwetting further. Morning walk as a bedwelling remedy. If your child is too young to start exercising, you can take him/her for a morning walk. This will help increase the frequency of urination, which will reduce the risk of bedwetting. However, if your child is very young, take him/her out only during the daytime. Bottom shifting theory for bedwetting remedy. The bottom shifting theory, which is also known as the leg lifting theory, states that the position of the legs while sleeping can help reduce bedwetting. Keeping the legs raised above the abdomen increases the pressure in the abdomen and reduces the pressure in the bladder. This helps reduce bedwetting. The easiest way to follow the bottom shifting theory is to place a few pillows below the child's legs while she is sleeping. You can also place a folded quilt or blanket under the child's legs. Conclusion: bedwetting is a condition that occurs in many children before they are ready to potty train. While it may cause stress and frustration for parents, it is important not to overreact and keep a positive attitude. Bedwetting is often a phase that will pass as the child's bladder and sphincter muscle gain strength. There are many treatments and home remedies you can try if your child is bedwetting. The most important thing is to remain calm and not to shame them for it. If you follow the above bedwetting remedies, you can stop bedwetting at home. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. And if you have any questions, put it in the comment section below and be sure you will get a response.